My name is Frank Vitale. So we're at the September MREIA meeting in Woodbridge, and I am a member. I've been a member for quite a few years, and I'm a full-time real estate investor. Primarily in Monmouth County. I currently have about roughly about 30 rental properties, 30 rental units. I bought my first property at 21, so that's about a little over 40 years ago. When I was 21, I was renting an apartment. I had an argument with my landlord. My landlord came into the place and he had an exterminator put poisoning in the apartment. My dog ate it. I rushed him to the vet, pumped out his stomach, and when I called the landlord, he didn't seem too responsive. And I said, one of these days I'm going to come back and buy this building. I hung up the phone with him, and I was 21, I had $2,500 saved. I had just started a new job, and so I started calling realtors, and I found this retired realtor, semi-retired, and I said, look, I have $2,500 to my name. I'm paying about $400 a month in rent at the time. Maybe I can afford another $100 on top of that. Do you think you can find me anything that I might be able to buy? And he said to me, well, maybe we can find you a foreclosure. So at the time I said, what's that? I had no idea. But anyway, nevertheless, he did find me a foreclosure. It sold for $27,900, and it was worth about $45,000 at the time. So I had almost $20,000 in equity the day I bought it. So after I was in the place, for about 3 or 4 months, I was paying the mortgage. I was, felt like I was making it. I could afford it. And I started, doing some numbers, and I thought, if I sold this property, I could make $20,000. I was making $12,700 a year in my job at the time. So I needed a place to live. I never sold it, but I also figured that if I rented the property, I could then make, $100 to $200 a month over my payments. So I called the guy back about 6 months later, and I said, you think you can find me another one of these? And that's kind of how I started. If I was going to give any advice to investors who are looking, to get started, I think it's key that you make your money the day you buy, and that you realize that profit when you sell. So if you're buying at a deep enough discount, and you know your numbers and you know your market, then you putting that together, it will minimize your risks of being able to get hurt. One was a foreclosure that I bought significantly below the market. I made an all-cash offer on the deal at the time. The bank accepted it. All I had to do then was go out and get the money, which I didn't have. So I was supposed to close on it in 30 days with all cash, no contingencies. I went to my bank and I showed them the numbers, and I was able to pledge some other properties as collateral. And as a result of that, it became a very profitable deal. And there's other ways to structure deals. And once you start to do these, your mind starts to really be creative and starts to really figure out how you can think outside the box and how you can make things work. A formal education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune. One thing I would emphasize is that for younger people that are in college, or your school doesn't end. It's when you graduate, you think, okay, I'm done with school, now I can go to work. But really, being a lifelong learner is key. And to focus on, like they'll teach you in school, as an example, how to dissect a frog, and I don't know how often you use that. By the same token, if they taught you how to leverage your money, how to, make money with real estate was one vehicle. But so being a lifelong learner is key, and groups like MREIA and some other investment groups as well, you get to network with people who have done it. You get to, constantly learn. I mean, even though I've achieved some degree of achievements with real estate, I'm always looking to learn more. And there's always people out there that can teach you. So it's very important to have an open mind and to really, join groups like this and network and get feedback from people who have done it.